Good morning and welcome back. My name is Lynn and I am Pretty Papercraft 67. I'd just like to say a special good morning to all the new subscribers that have joined me over the weekend. So wonderful for you to come over to my channel. Thank you so much. I hope that I can offer you some inspiration in some of the work that I do. It's an aim of mine to start to do more regular videos, but just time won't allow it at this stage. But anyway, we'll get there. Intention is a great thing. So today I just thought I would jump on and show you a few of the new projects that I've just completed for the Etsy store. This journal has been purchased by my lovely friend Kate. So Kate, I'll get her wrapped up and sent out to you today. Thank you so much. But first of all, this is a little bundle that I just completed over the weekend. Or actually, I've got one more piece I want to do. If anyone knows me, they know that I love botanical style pieces. I tend to do a lot with botanicals. So I just loved some of these little images that I bought from a digital purchase through My Porch Prints. Yeah, and I just love them. So I made these tiny little ephemera holders. They've just got some vellum on the front as a pocket. Yeah, and coffee dyed bases, and I just teamed it up with a little bit of twine and some fussy cutting there, and then yeah, I've just done some layering onto a ticket or a tag, I suppose you'd call it. These are some Tim Holtz cut apart pieces, so I thought that looked really sweet in there. Another little cut apart piece from the Kaisercraft range, Take Time to Breathe It All In. Oh, I love that. I think that's really nice. And then this little bird's nest, which I've fussy cut and just used a bit of distress ink on. So that is the first little piece in this bundle. Then the mushrooms. I love the mushrooms. So again, same concept. I've just used a fussy cut of mushroom, layered up with some fabrics and paper, coffee stained base, and on this one another Tim Holtz little cut apart piece. So very grateful. And the I went to Officeworks the other day and I bought a pack of canvas where all their photo papers and everything that they had a box, a ream of canvas paper. So I bought it. Yeah, it's really nice stuff. It's matte on the front, shiny on the back. But yeah, so I've fussy cut just a different texture for fussy cutting. So I've popped those in there. I did a scrappy notebook. I just think these are such fun just to pop in pockets in journals. Actually, to use them as extra journal space. You can always collage on the written, on the printed text pages. But yeah, so I love that, and I've just used a Tim Holtz, I think it's Wildflowers, I think it is, die cut, and just a layering of some papers. I did two big tags in this one. These tags here, I've used napkins, serviette, to pop down on the bases, some hand stamping, machine stitching, everything that I always do. Some labels from Chapter 1 papers. And then, yeah, I've just made some mini clusters. The beautiful cotton frizz trim from Sue. And then I've just fussy cut the butterflies and taken some more labels from Chapter 1 papers. And just, yeah, layered them all up together on a bulb pin. So I love this whole hanging cluster thing, situation. So, and I just think it just adds something really different to your tags. Again, they've been coffee stained, the tags, and the second one is very similar to the first. I've got the big butterfly, a small butterfly, and then just some extra little tags again from Chapter 1 papers. So they're in the kit, and they're a decent sized tag too. Oh geez, they measure about 15 centimeters long, so and about 8 centimeters wide. So yeah, they're a very nice size if you use tags for journaling. And then I've just done 2 journaling cards. Again, I've used the mushroom printed onto that canvas, and it's just got a really nice feel to it, nice texture. There's not a lot of journaling space on this one, but you know, if you used a darker pen, you could easily just journal over the top of these images here. And a machine stitched around the edge again. So you've got the mushroom one and you've got the fern. So yeah, I enjoyed doing those. A little bit of hand stamping on the back there. So I just want to make a folder for them to all sit in. That's on today's project list. And then they'll be going into the Etsy store. So that's those. And then this beautiful, beautiful journal, which I started a couple of weeks ago. I'm a very slow crafter nowadays. I tend to procrastinate far too much. But in any case, I've just got to hone that creativeness down and just stop questioning and go for it. But I completed this journal, popped her in my Etsy store, and my lovely friend Kate came along, saw her and purchased her. So Kate, after this video, I will be wrapping her up and sending her up to you. But yeah, so this one is just a collection of a lot of things from my stash. I have used some chapter 1 papers, and I'm sure there are other digitals that I'll name as we go through. Pardon me. But I've just I've done a collage on the actual cover base. Mostly chapter 1 papers and the labels. Labels mix, I think it's called. Did a little bit of stamping on some vellum. A 3-hole pamphlet stitched to bind it into the cover, and the fronts is just a layering of fabrics, some ticking, some beautiful braiding, this very, very old vintage piece of now I'm not sure if it's I think it's crochet more than tatting, but it's extremely fine. And then yeah, just a metal book plate, labels. Yeah, so that's the cover. It's a semi-soft cover, although it has got some rigidity to it. So yeah, it's a nice size too. It's 9 inches high by 5.5 inches wide, so feels very nice in your hand. I've used a lot of trim from Sue, the cotton frizz, and I've decorated it with bulb pins and vintage buttons and metal charms and clay charms and so on and so forth. So the first page, this is a printable that I bought many, many years ago, and I really don't know who the creator of this was anymore now. If I find it I've just got a new computer, so all of my printable files are on USB sticks, so every time I want something I've got to go through about 5 different USB sticks to find it. So I'm sorry, I don't remember who this is, but if I can find it, I'll link it below. And I've just backed onto there some ledger paper and so on around. So there is a fair amount of journaling space in this particular journal. I've used some vintage papers that I've carried with me for a long time. I don't know the date on this. It doesn't actually give me a date. It says June the 1st, but it doesn't give me a year. But it's Century Products Limited hardware manufacturers, so it's just like accounts received. I don't know if it's their annual statement or what, but there is original pen or pencil workings out on that, so I thought that was pretty cool. And just this little rose clay charm I've popped on the end of that bulb pin. This one here, I went and my video on shopping at the Kmart craft section. This was like I would suggest a photo wallet, so I use it as a journal pocket. So it's printed on vellum, the rose, and this is rose newspaper or newspaper print roses or something from My Porch Prints. Again, I'll link it below. And then I've just put a little collaged journal card to go inside this one, just with some scrappy papers and some Tim Holtz die cut pieces. And again, the cardboard's been coffee stained, so that one does live up in here like so. Yeah, just a collection of bits and pieces that I've carried with me for some time, and some old laces, trims that I've had. So I've just used them in this journal. So a little pocket with again some vintage lace on the bottom, and a few little cut apart pieces from Tim Holtz, the butterflies, from a Kaiser Craft range, like an autumn leaves. And this one here is from Tim Holtz, but I just love this little bluebird, so I've layered that over the Tim Holtz card and just sewn around just for, yeah, I just think she's so pretty. So those ones belong in that little pocket there. This piece of paper here is intriguing also. When we bought the last house that we lived in, we had inside the 4th bedroom, which I'm suggesting was a garage many years before, was like on the wall an electricity reading meter from many years ago. And inside of it was this book. So it's a MDF and distributing box record, and I think it's to do with your power. So I love that book, and I thought, well, we don't use that anymore, so I grabbed it, and it's very old. I would date that back into the 70s, judging by the age of the house that we lived in, that we bought. So that's that one. Just a little page from a book that I have called My Mother's Ways. Really lovely. It just gives you some hints and tips, old-fashioned hints and tips on anything from sewing through to entertainment, through to gardening, cooking. Just love it. And I've just put some of that vintage lace down the side of that one. This is another one of those. This is a Gail Agnostinelli idea that I watched and really enjoyed. So it just involves a piece of cardstock 12 inches wide by 6 inches high, or the height is up to you to determine. But yeah, you just pull it out, you score it along your scoreboard and just pull it out. So fold it on your lines, and it's just some extra journaling space there. I think I love it. So I've just put some wildflower die cut with a bit of a label, vellum pocket in there, and my favourite little envelopes that I've popped in there. So one's got the mushroom and the other's got the butterfly. So hand stamping and so forth. Excuse me, my asthma is getting better, but it's still not great, so I do apologise for coughing. Again, this here I think is fun. This is when we were at high school, or shorthand, we were learning shorthand, and you used to have to do your touch typing and things like that. So this is like an exercise from a book that you would use at high school when you were doing touch typing. So I thought that was really fun. And just this little metal flower on a bulb pin. I've carried that with me for years and years, so finally she's got her home. Yeah, and the back of this is another exercise. Type each line 4 times. So I was never very good at touch typing, but yeah, this is the type of thing. When did I go to high school? 1980. I started grade 8. So yeah, this is the kind of thing we used to work with at high school. On this page, I've just made another little scrappy notebook, because I just think they're so fun, easy to do, a nice quick little project. And these little envelopes, they were an envelope from a printable that I had. I think I was doing a design team project for this particular lady, SS Digitals, I think it is. But I just collaged over the front just to make it my own. So your butterfly, a bit of Tim Holtz, and again chapter 1 papers. And yeah, I'm just putting those two together and pin them on that page there. Now this is just an exercise book, the red and blue lines. But when I dye my coffee dye, I use sometimes I use baking paper for various reasons, and then the baking paper has such beautiful and unique designs on them from the coffee stains. So yeah, so I just wanted to, I've sewn those onto the exercise page, and that's got a nice feel to it. A little piece of stationery. I've just back-to-back 2 pages from another digital by My Porch Prints. It's just plain like writing paper, so I thought they were sweet together. This one here is an envelope that I've inserted in the journal. The other half of the envelope's further down. So I really liked that, and I wanted to make a tuck spot with it. So through this piece of vellum, I've just inserted an eyelet to make like a little tuck. And then I was watching Sue at Paper Inspirations the other night, and she was dyeing with Distress Inks some tags. So I really liked that idea, so I went ahead and did some dyeing. And then just a gold foil stamp just to make that a little bit vintagey looking, and that sits nicely in that little tuck pocket there. Dictionary page. Well, actually, that's a German. That's German. A German dictionary page. Some old music sheet. A little pocket here. Again, just a diagonal fold pocket. I've just done some embellishing, some fabric, some sewing, some lace, and I've embossed the whole thing and then done a little bit of gold leafing on it, and just included a little seed packet envelope from Chapter 1 papers. I think they're really sweet. Some more German dictionary page. Vellum. My Chapter 1 papers, beautiful papers, very antique, so I printed them out onto vellum, sewn down the edge and put an vintage button there. So I just love the texture of vellum, and I think it's just a nice addition to a journal. Another page from that book that I have, My Mother's Ways. This is the other side of the envelope, and I've just made a little double tuck spot diagonal side pocket. Yep. So again, another one of those little seed packet envelopes. Pop in there, and this is just a die cut from My Porch Prints. This is a new die cut that a new digital that I bought a couple of weeks back, and I'm really loving it. So I just thought I would pop that in there. And again, just made another little straight pocket here. Some pretty little bluebirds, and then just included some of these Tim Holtz. I really love the Tim Holtz die cuts, or I think they're called die cuts. You buy them in the packet. There's like 90 pieces in the packet. They're just very vintage, and I really love them, and I've always loved Tim Holtz stuff. So yep, some more music sheets, some more of that baking paper that I've coffee dyed. And another little pocket. I used the last of my wallpaper on this pocket. Beautiful little bluebird again. This one's more purpley pink than blue. Pardon me. And embossed and put a little bit of lace. And I've just included in there just some tickets and some cut aparts. Yeah, just some really cute little things that I use, and I'm sure I'm not the only person. I use a lot of this type of thing when I am journaling. I journal on it, or I stick it onto the page as an embellishment. So I just always think I've got a lot of this type of thing in my stash, so I think it's always nice to share. A dictionary page. I've done a fabric flip here, a beautiful doily, and it's all been hand embroidered, and then just this little piece from a tablecloth. Actually, this tablecloth that I've got behind. Perfect, love it. And then on this side, I've included an envelope. I've just left it plain because I think I like it plain. It would be beautiful collaged up with make it like a pocket envelope. But I thought, Kate, you might be able to have a fiddle with that. If not, it looks lovely like it is. And again, a Chapter 1 tag with a little mini cluster of mini labels and bits and pieces, and some gorgeous vintage lace that I found at that op shop. So they live there. This is really old, and I guess it's again, yeah, it's another dictionary page, but it's beautiful. And I've taken a page from that My Mother's Ways and attached it onto that page there with some machine stitching. I love them, and they just give you an insight into what it was like back in the olden days, let's say the olden days. Some more vellum that I've printed from Chapter 1 papers. This is a sewing pattern. Yeah, I don't know by who, but I love this little bird, and so I thought I'm going to make you my focal centerpiece. And on my strings I have attached a clay charm that I've made, and this very, very, very vintage glass cut button. This was actually came out of my grandmother's sewing box, so that could be at least 80 years old. It's just lovely, so I thought that looked very nice there. And then we start again to the other side. So your vellum, a little floral button that I've carried with me for many, many years. Some ledger paper, the dictionary page, some more plain paper. So there is plenty of room in this one for journaling. That coffee stain again. And then I've just done with the envelope again, another one of these little tuck spots. I've just put a little bird there and some beautiful limey green lace. And I have included another one of these gold foiled distress inked stamped, hand stamped tags. So that one, I put a little bit, I went a little bit too crazy on the glue down here, so I've actually sealed that pocket, so it's got to sit up a little higher. Another page from the book, some more vellum, dictionary, and then I've just, I've made another diagonal side tuck pocket with the lace and some layering, some labels, a bit of wallpaper, and I've embossed all of that. And then I've included another one of these tags. I sat the other night and I just tag after tag. I love doing tags. Tags are probably my most favourite ephemera. So collaged it up, used some napkin, and then fussy cut some floral and some of these tags from the chapter 1 papers and some hand stamping, and just again put it all together in a bulb pin. So that one lives there in that pocket. There is still room here too, Kate, if you would like to do some of your own embellishing. So, piece of very old, like, I call it vellum, but it's probably tissue. It was like what used to be in the old photograph albums to keep the pages, the photographs separate. So yeah, that's my last piece of that too. I've just made a little tuck pocket here. I've done some collaging, and then I've just put these little butterflies with some tulle just to yeah, accentuate the page. And then in there I've just done a tiny little journal card, again with the whole stamping and serviette napkin layering, but it's got its lines, so it lives very nicely in that little pocket there. A pretty little heart charm, metal heart charm. Stationery again, another envelope. So it's just, I've just left this one as it came in the kit, put a bit of a label, some hand stamping, lined it onto some scrapbook paper so it's a good solid thickness. Yeah, I don't know, I love envelopes in journals. I tend to, you know, so every so often my husband will leave me a little note, or my kids will leave me a little note, and I always put them inside the envelopes. Some more of that typing page. This one here, I forget now where I saw this idea, but I just loved it. So it's a pocket, but it folds out. I don't know if I'm in the out of range there, but it folds out into some more journaling space. So, and then I've got a vellum pocket, and inside of the vellum pocket, it's got a pocket at the back, and I just really love that print. That print. So that one's in the back pocket. And then in the front pocket, I've just included again some Tim Holtz, some cut aparts, and some tickety type things. And I've just really distressed that with my paper distresser, or whatever you call it, just to make it look old and cracked. That vellum pocket. So that's another one. This one here, I was having a fiddle yesterday with some more tags, some more distress inking. I like this colour combination. It's Victorian Velvet and Cracked Pistachio. And then I just did some hand stamping, some layering with fabric and a butterfly, and again another pretty little envelope made from some Kaisercraft paper line. and I just thought they were really pretty together. Sort of the greens and a little bit of pink, so I've popped those there on a paper clip. And then this another tag using the whole napkin collage thing. So again, I've collaged labels, I've embossed it, and it's already been coffee dyed, and then I just put just another little hanging cluster on there. Love those labels from Chapter 1 papers. They're a really great kit. If you're looking for a kit with labels, pop on over to Chapter 1 papers. I'll link them below. They've got so much nice stuff in their shop, all digitals, but yeah, beautiful. Coffee dyed paper. Another page from that My Mother's Ways that I've just attached to there. Just some little hints and tips. And then the end of the book. So there you go. So this one belongs to Kate, and Kate, I will get her out to you today. Alright, well thank you everyone for joining me this morning. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful day. It's still early, but I hope everyone gets some time to craft throughout the day. And yeah, I will try and come back a little bit more regularly. I've got another idea for a video, so hopefully I'll get that done in the next day or so. So have a wonderful day, be kind to each other, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.